Hi everyone, welcome back to Nobody's Beauty Guru. My name is Julie and today I am here with my April wrap-up for my 1 month, one palette, as well as just a check-in on my rolling project pan items. I have some good progress with a lot of these. I did have about a week where I wore no makeup because the kids were off for spring break. I do my makeup when I get to work, and when you've got 4 kids just in the house and needing attention, not as much gets done. Let's jump right into it with my NYX Pore Filler Primer. This is empty to the point where it's really difficult to get anything out, so I'm going to have to cut this, and then after that I will probably just keep it at home to finish up using. I have moved on to my Dr. Brandt Pores No More, which is full, and I have this. I probably might be able to see through this to market. I can do that after this. But this has moved into my everyday makeup bag to try to use up, and I will just be finishing this one up at home. And then we had my Becca Backlight Priming Filter sample. This was down here at this line in the last update, and I am done this now. I have replaced it with the Smashbox Photo Finish that I got in, I think, my Sephora Play. For my e.l.f. HD Setting Powder, I have finished this up completely. I did empty out one of my e.l.f. Under Eye Setting Powders into this. So this was just the HD, and then I mixed in the under eye setting, which was a little bit pinker and had some brightness to it. This was just like a stark translucent white, but it is all now in this tiny little container. So if I move this down and like shake it, the powder comes down to about here. This one is being worked through, but this larger container is empty. It will go into my empties bin, and I'm just going to continue to work through my loose powders. My Mary Luminizer Illuminator, this one I've been just trying to hit pan on. I'm not trying to pan another highlighter. I just want to try to use as much as I can from my collection and hit pan on them. So this one has a sizable dip, but no visible pan. As a way to try to hit pan on a shadow in my palette for this month, I did end up using it as a highlighter. It's what I'm wearing today as a highlighter, so I was not using this as much because I was trying to hit pan on that eyeshadow. I will show you a close-up, and I will also just let you guys know I lost all of my raw footage in iMovie. There was some computer cleanse that happened. I went back to iMovie and it was empty of all past footage. So I lost all of the photos of my products and my footage that I usually put in to show you comparisons. I lost all of that. So I'm starting over from scratch. I'm very, very sorry I don't have progress pictures for you, but I'm going to do my best to take them now and have them for you next time. So I'll show you a close-up of this. So that's progress. I also have my Pixi Under Eye Brightener in Peach, or Corrector in Brightening Peach. I was using my Bye Bye Under Eye Illumination by IT Cosmetics in a different project, so I was trying to use that up before that project ended. I haven't been using this as much because I've been using that in place of this because it felt like too much underneath my eyes. But that product is done now, so I will be using this more. My blush, this is Between the Sheets by ColourPop. I have progress on this. Again, I can't show you a side-by-side from last time, but no pan, but there is a sizable dip. I'm using a large stipple brush in this. Every time I do my makeup, it's what I have on today. It's what I've worn every single day. I do anticipate hitting pan on this soon. The consistency of this is still good, so I will continue to use this until it dries up too much to use just from overall opening and closing. So that's one that I am really enjoying using, and I will just continue to make as much progress as possible on that one. Then we have a couple that I did finish. I did finish up my Lash Princess, and this is in just the regular Lash Princess. I think there's a volumizing version that's like a corally color. This is just the regular one. And I moved on right now to a sample. I have an Urban Decay sample of Perversion. I also have a Benefit sample that was open of the They're Real that I'm trying to finish up. So I'm just using sample mascaras for right now. And then I had a Bite Beauty matte cream in Tort. And this one is done like a pinky, nudie, mauvey. I loved this color. I really did. And I realized that these are really organic, natural products, so I will be moving the 2 other ones that I had in this collection left after my unhaul because I got rid of like a really, really nudie one that doesn't work. I have a red and aubergine. I will be putting this one in a project soon. This one is in Cooley and this one is a red. I want to try to use these up before they go bad. And the aubergine is like a purpley berry color that I'm just going to be using like every day as a part of a project to use it up so I don't waste these, because they are very, very pretty. I like the formula of these and I just don't want them to go bad on me. My NYX matte setting spray in this, I've refilled this, so this is full, and the actual full size is probably less than half now at this point. I don't love the matte setting spray. That's what I'm wearing today. I definitely prefer the dewy one. I don't have oily skin, so I like the dewy finish. The matte one is a little bit intense, especially because I am done using my Becca Aqua Luminous Glow foundation and I'm back to a more matte foundation. My Smashbox eye primer, and this one is definitely getting low. I don't think I have very, very much left in this. I'm really having to squeeze into this, but I'm thinking maybe another week if I do makeup every day, and this one will be done. So I'll move on to this one when this sample is done, because I have a ton of samples of eye primers to get through. I'm not going to need to purchase one for a long time. I'm just going to keep working through my samples. I have my e.l.f. Clear Brow Gel. I'm still working on this side, which looks pretty brown because when you brush through it, like collects some of the color. This side is still untouched, but this side still has product in it. So still not even halfway done that one. I have two measurable items. I have a ColourPop black eyeliner and my Too Faced brow pencil. Almost at the point where like the caps are gonna meet, so I'm feeling really good about this. I've been using this consistently. The only thing I've been using in a project pan on my brows for over a year now. So let me show you my brow pencil first. I'm going to align this guy up here so you can see I'm making steady progress on that product, and really looking forward to having this one done in my collection. This is definitely starting to dry up on me. I have to like warm it up on my hand a little bit and then go onto my eye. Otherwise, if I try to go right to my eye, it breaks off and crumbles, and then it like crumbles into my eye, which is obviously not what I want it to do. So this one is definitely on its way out. So I need to start finishing that one up a little bit faster. This is where I was at my last update. Here's where I am now. And then this was the lines for the Bite Beauty, but that's done now. So those are my measurable updates. Definitely making steady progress on the pencil. Did better in this past month than I have in prior months. This is still making steady progress, and I need this to be done for my collection because it's drying out, it's disconnected. Now let's get to the palette. I used the Anastasia Self-Made palette this month. General thoughts, I like a lot of the colors in here, but this is not a standalone palette. The lightest cream shade in here is very, very yellow. It really doesn't work for cooler toned looks, and there's only one crease shade in here and it is very warm. So I was really left trying to pull and make looks work with this and without bringing anything else into it. And it was really difficult for me. I ended up only being able to do one or two different looks. Some of these I did not touch at all. This is Buttery up here. Buttery was the first one that I hit pan on because I did use this as an all over setting and then a brow bone highlight, even though I don't love the tone of this one. Also hit pan on Sherbet pretty easily because this was the only thing that I could really use in my crease. I would mix these two together sometimes to get something a little bit less warm. I would also mix it with this brown, the hot chocolate, sometimes to make it a little bit darker in the crease. But overall, that was my crease shade. And then I also hit pan on Treasure down here, which I will show you closer up. But that is what I'm using today as my highlight, and I had to start multi-purposing that just to hit pan on another shadow. I do have a dip in Pink Champagne, which I liked. I have a dip in this Deep Purple as well, or the Metallic Plum rather. I also use Deep Purple, which is what I have on my eyes today. And Hot Chocolate I used a good bit. I used Blossom, this pink, more than I thought I was. I also used this blush. I did not realize that this was like a duochrome, kind of a topper shade, until the end of the month, and then I used it like a couple times and really did like the way that it transformed my shadows. So that was a really cool revelation. Can't believe it took me that long to realize that. I did use Isla a couple times, but not enough to get near pan. I never touched Witchy and I never touched Self-Made, these two colors right up here. I'm going to keep the palette. I'm going to continue to use it, but I do not think it's a great, like, pack this one and travel, everything you need for complete looks. This is not the palette for you. Here's a close-up of what it looks like now. So again, a really fun one, but I did not end up using the pops of color as much as I thought I would because I didn't have neutral enough transition and other shadows to work with a pop of color, if that makes sense. For this one, I hit pan on 3 shadows, but I also hit pan on All That Glitters here, this MAC shade in my U17 and 17. So technically 4 shadows for the month. I am trying to hit pan on 30 shadows this year. So far, that brings me to 18 shadows that I've hit pan on so far this year. So I'm on track to hit pan for 30. I have decided that my next month's palette will be a Z palette that I custom make out of my Makeup Geek shadows. I think there's an Urban Decay and there's a Makeup Forever shadow in this as well, just because they fit in here. These do not have sizable dips, and they are Makeup Geek shadows, which are a lot harder to hit pan on because they're so deep and so packed. So I'm not anticipating a whole bunch of pan this month. So this is what my palette looks like for the month. I have Shimma Shimma, Vanilla Bean, Beaches and Cream. This one I believe is Frappe. Nope, Latte. I always say that. Latte, Cocoa Bear. This one is Cinderella. This one is Vintage. Yep. And then Curfew. So Vintage, Curfew. This one is Americano. This one is their Corrupt. This one I believe is Starry Eyed, Grandstand, Showtime. This one is Cherry Cola. Phantom. So this one I will use as a topper. It's like a holographic blue shifted that I thought could be really cool with some of these purples. This one's already a duochrome. This one is from Urban Decay. I forget what the name of it is. And this one is a Makeup Geek, just taupey shade. I will give you a close-up and let you see what they look like. And then I'm gonna just cross my fingers and work on some of these because I do want to hit pan on some more Makeup Geek shadows this year. I will also be continuing to use Just by MAC. All That Glitters by MAC is Unexpected. This one is what I used for a cool tone crease color when I was using the Anastasia Self-Made. So there is a little bit of a dip in there. I think that will match really well with the purples that I already have in this palette. So this one I will be using as well for the month. I'm excited for the challenge, although after only hitting pan in 3 of these shadows, I really wanted something that felt a little bit more encouraging. So I know next month is going to be frustrating too in terms of pan, but that is okay. It's all right. It's still using my collection, which is the goal for this. So that is what I will be doing for next month. I hope you guys are excited to join me on this particular journey and seeing what I can do with these. If you have ways to multitask these, let me know. I may try using a couple of these as brow powders because I think that between these browns, I may be able to do that. But we're gonna see. I still have to get through that brow pencil, so I don't know how much I really want to use those for brows. If you have any tips and tricks though, definitely let me know. Maybe for contouring, I don't know. Thank you so much for watching this update. If you liked this video, give me a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye.